Hi Jordan, nice to meet you here. A treaty on migration was recently approved from Albania, Republic of Albania and Italy. What should we know about it?
Well, thank you very much for this interview. Very pleased to meet you in Brussels as part of Fair Trials. Well, this treaty is the wrong, is one of the, let's say, things that you don't expect from a democratic country. So basically, both countries, based on another treaty on friendship, because we are allies and we are friends since very old times. So basically, this treaty was based on another treaty, and the main scope of the treaty is to open 2 migration centers in Albania for those immigrants that are aiming to reach Italy via sea. And those 2 centers, the way how they are planned to be functioning, will be definitely centers where human rights will be grossly violated, and where those who are in charge of the law, by law, in charge of protecting human rights, will not be able to reach this place or able to exercise their duties. Because basically those 2 centers are going to be centers when these people, their capacity is expected to be no more than 3,600 at one time. Nevertheless, we never know whether this number will be respected or not. According to the treaty, those who are stopped in the sea, they will be shipped directly to Albania, where everything will be handled by Italian authorities. So Albanian authorities have no say on this issue. The whole center inside will be overguarded and also will be matter of Italian party, while Albanian police will be in charge of protecting the outside perimeter. So these centers will be functioning kind of detention centers. Also, by law, an illegal immigrant cannot be considered as a detainee, basically. Nevertheless, this treaty provides that they will not be allowed to get out of the centers.
Maybe you can speak a bit more about which human rights violations you can foresee to the EU human rights law.
By this treaty, these centers will not be subject of Albanian law and Albanian authorities, because Italian authorities will not be subject of our law. Which means that no matter what is going to happen, Albanian authorities, although those people are legally speaking in Albanian territory, they will not be able to do anything. On the other hand, Italian authorities are outside of Italy. So Italian law will not be applicable to them because they are outside of Italian territory. So, from the way how it has been foreseen, to my understanding, these territories will be no man land. It means that these people are going to be in the mercy of those who are going to run the center and those who are going to protect the center from outside. Many rights will be violated. For example, the right to a fair trial, which means also the right to access to court established by law. The right to have a lawyer, because Italian lawyers cannot exercise that profession in Albania, while technically speaking they will be in Albania. Because these territories, although are foreseen to be like extraterritorials, they are not considered as such, because extraterritorials are considered only diplomatic seats and other military facilities. So international law does not accept that these territories to be equal with extraterritorials. In addition to that, how can be a fair trial without having the right to appear in the tribunal? So to be heard about what you are claiming by the judge and to be able to ask questions, whatever. Those people are shipped to Albania with the very first and the only reason not to reach Italy, so they will not be allowed to go to Italy for hearings. Basically, I don't know how the hearings will take place, or whether these guys will be subject to any hearing, or it will be a Zoom hearing, I don't know. this is going to be a very serious procedural issue for Italian courts. At the same time, Albanian courts will not have any authority.
But the treaty should be should start in the second part of the year, or
yes, there is a according to the news, there is a European Court of Justice, Court of Justice of European Union has delivered a judgment saying that speedy procedures are not compatible with the EU law, so therefore Italian authorities are not anymore allowed to apply speedy procedures in reviewing the request for asylum, which means that basically the whole scope of this treaty is somehow under question. Hopefully, not for the sake of the treaty, but for the sake of the people, hopefully this treaty will never be applied. But it looks like, unfortunately, also many other voices, also within the European Union, very important people, somehow underground, they are supporting these ideas, not because they are in favor of human rights violation, I can understand that, but just to see as a technical detail how to manage the humanitarian crisis, which I think is not the right way. So this is not the right way, and for example, as an Albanian one, I would be more than pleased to welcome even 3,000 or 5,000, I don't know, according to our capacities, to give them permission to work so they can live like free citizens. And if they like Albania, they can stay. If not, they can just move another country. So why to keep them in prison? If you want to really help these people, which is the propaganda behind the treaty, okay, let's have them in a proper way. Let them give them documents. Yes, provide them with job, and there is a lot of jobs available in Albania because of the immigration we have as well. I think they can easily work in our country, but not as prisoners.
Also because there is also another violation of the Geneva Convention, because of course the examining of the situation, of the background of the person can't be superficial. So if they will be moved to Albania directly, of course, how they decide about the situation of the vulnerable situation.
For example, if you see just the man, you don't see the kids of his man and his wife, you are not able to really properly reason about the family status, because sometimes although the man that you are questioning might not be suitable, it might be suitable by force, having in mind his own family situation. For example, a very sick kid or whatever. So if you treat these people as humans, then that's what they are asking. They are not asking for villas in our countries. And this is very unfortunate.
And also in Italy, the procedure for the asylum seeker is very long. So we are speaking about more than 1 hour, 1 year and a half. So can we speak about arbitrary detention?
Well, this is going to be arbitrary detention for the very first day, because those people, although are trying to reach this country illegally, which somehow you have the right to stop them, but you don't have the right to put them in the status of a prisoner. Basically, these centers, just having in mind only one factor, such as not being allowed to get outside, these centers are completely going to function as prisoners, so as prisons. And this is not by any law of any civilized country allowed. So this is one of the, and arbitration detention is, and this is going to last like for years for somebody. And how can keep somebody in jail for years without having committed any crime? The only crime they have committed is because they are unfortunately seeking for a better life and leaving behind some very serious humanitarian crisis. And this is behind any reason. So to me, it's crazy.
What we should expect in the next month?
Well, unfortunately, also the general awareness of the public, both in both countries, in Albania and in Italy, are more focused on the political side of this issue rather than humanitarian side. Some are, supporting the government because we are helping the Italian government. Of course, the Italian government is a friend of our country. We love Italy and Italian government as well. We have been living together for, let's say, millennia, not centuries. So basically, this is nothing we can say. But on the other hand, the real reason behind is, okay, is this the right way that we can help Italy? I don't think it is the right way. We can help Italy by behaving as a very democratic state, taking some of Italy burden to our country, have them provide documents and make them live like free people. This is the best way. If you are just helping Italy to avoid humanitarian crisis by causing some very serious human rights violation, then it did nothing good. And even Italy, I don't think that should support. What we are going to expect? Well, politics will push to the limits to apply this treaty. I don't see any public actor from Albanian side who can refer this case to European Court of Human Rights. I don't know, probably Italy still has something to do within your court system, like Constitutional Court, for example. Our Constitutional Court, it is the first time I'm very hard to them and I don't care, because it's very obvious that their judgment was completely not a judgment, it was a political statement, which is not the duty of the Constitutional Court. So the only thing I expect is civil societies, organizations, and individuals to advocate for this very bad situation that we are going to experience in a few months maybe. And hopefully coalitions of NGOs in both countries will at least refer the case to the European Court of Human Rights, but this does not exclude also the European Court of Justice of the European Union, which might be also engaged, but this is going to happen only by subject under EU law. So all those coming from Albania, they will not have any access except of European Court of Human Rights, which I don't think there is any single case when, let's say, part of the state is challenging what the state has decided. So, for example, our People's Advocate, Ombudsman, by constitution has the right to send the case to the Constitutional Court. And of course, it doesn't say it, but I think she, in this case, can submit also an application to the European Court for interim measure or whatever. But this is also a matter of a will of the person. And I don't think that human rights issues such as this one should be subject of our personal wills.
Thank you very much, Jordan, to explain us this whole situation between both countries, Italy and Albania. Thank you.
It was a great pleasure, and hopefully also a fair trial will help a little bit, and this is the reason why I decided to talk about this. And I think this is one of the most serious fair trials issues that we are experiencing right now within Europe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.